So this is a post editing note. Between the time that I recorded this about an hour ago and started editing it quickly because I just wanted to get one and done. I got a lot of stuff to do. My drapes just arrived. Huzzah. This happened. You'll see me later in the video address that I don't think this is a long-standing issue. I don't think this is like a permanent thing and that it's coming back and that people should chill. I mean, I was right, but I'm still going to post the video and give my opinions on just kind of what's been going on, and I hope you enjoy. So here we go. Today is January 19th, 2025, and will you guess what the biggest story in all of the United States is right now? Yes, TikTok. You got it right. My name's Kat. This is my channel. Welcome. I'm glad to see you. This is Felix. He will be interrupting me consistently, nonstop. And we're going to talk about TikTok. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight as to where TikTok came from, what the purpose is, why it is so good at what it is, and why people are losing their ever-loving minds because it's now banned. So TikTok actually started with a different name, and I can't pronounce it. It's Douyin, or I don't know. I'm probably butchering it. But it started in the Chinese market, and it was in, I think, September 2017. It's owned by ByteDance, which is a huge company that has lots and lots and lots of apps that do all lots and lots of things. And they're very good at what they do, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I think it was 2017, I think, that they rebranded as TikTok for the American market. TikTok is notorious for being one of the best at what it does. So the entire purpose of the algorithm on TikTok is to keep you on the app as long as humanly possible. So anything that they can do to keep you engaged in the app, scrolling through the app, like that, they're going to do it. And it all comes down to algorithm. It takes into account every single click, how long you hesitate, whether you scroll past or if you watch for a few seconds. And if you notice, your algorithm tends to mirror the type of stuff that you're watching. So if you are somebody that is heavily into conspiracy theories and you keep watching stuff about conspiracy theories, your feed will be flooded with them because they want you to be watching something that you like. Fun fact, one of the best ways to get people to watch a video is to get them to see something that they agree with or resonates with them personally, kind of like their own little echo chamber. People like other people agreeing with them or vocalizing their personal opinions. It's just, that's life. That's how that goes. Now, TikTok's algorithm is literally the best one out there. You can't beat it. It takes into account everything you click on, you click off of, stuff on your phone, stuff running in the background. And that is one of the major concerns that people have brought up over the years, is that how private is it and how much of your personal data? Have you ever had a conversation in the other room and then you go get on the computer and it's showing you ads for a pool you mentioned once in passing in a conversation? Suddenly you're seeing ads for pools. That's how that works. Whether it be as shady as a hot mic or whether it's, I don't know, psychic. I mean, a lot of people think that these apps seem to be psychic and just read your mind, and every one of us has seen this happen. To be honest, the reason that, and I'm going to drag AI into this again, the reason that AI is so competent is because it is designed to interpret and contextualize our behaviors. And everything is studyable, everything is able to be put into some kind of a system where you can better understand it. And therefore, if you have a computer doing this and it sees these patterns, it can kind of read you and guess what you're going to say next or do next. You know how you have friends that are close and you know what they're going to say, you know how they're going to respond. Well, think of it, but more scientific, because driven by a computer, it doesn't have the emotional bias behind it where they second guess themselves. It just makes decisions and moves forward, which is how it works with showing you ads and also showing you content. Like I said, I'm going to go right back to it. The entire purpose is to keep you on the app as long as possible. This is the purpose of any app that you are on, any platform. They want you to stay on their platform as long as possible, including not leaving that app to go to another app. So if you're like on one and you're like, hey, go check me out on such and such, they don't like that. because that encourages someone to leave that app and go to a different one, which means they're not making the ad revenue, they're not making their share, they're not making their watch time revenue, and they don't like that. So here comes the part that I'm sure that I'm going to get the most comments about, because I'm going to give you my take on it and my opinion on this whole TikTok ban. Personal opinion. Everything I say here is my own brain. And if you don't like it, that's okay. It's fine. You can disagree with me. Because most likely I'm disagreeing with you back. So win-win, right? When it comes to TikTok, I just started using the app recently in the last couple of months, and it is correct that it is quite easy to get reach, right? So I might get a couple hundred views on there that I wouldn't get on other apps. I tended to get a lot of pushback on there. People are very vocal. And the fun fact was I could guess what the opinions were going to be, but it's all good. If you are a high level, I don't say high level, but like high follower count didn't necessarily matter. You could have a really low follower count and your content could get pushed out and go viral on TikTok way easier than a lot of these other apps that rely on other people already following to push your content. It kind of let the little guy have a chance, which led to a lot of people making it on there. In other words, they were monetized and they were getting paid for their content and for the followers and the likes and their live streams and the bits and the whatever they're called. I don't know. I didn't use it for very long, but like the donos and the gifts and the little dealy bobs on the live streams that you can send to people, and right? So that's the whole point. If somebody is using it as a full-time income or even a supplemental income, you got to make money, right? And it was a lot easier because you had an opportunity that on some other platforms you might not. So we knew this was coming for a really long time. Now, I was pretty new to the app, and I'm not going to lie, I never used it for consumption. I posted and ghosted. Like, this is how it goes. You take a video and you put it on all the platforms, and that's that. So I never really used it at that level. I never went live on it or anything of that nature. However, we all knew this was happening. This has been in the news, and this has been on the docket for a really, really long time. And they gave a date, and they made the date very solid, and they made it very clear. This is not a surprise. So I guess seeing all this content about TikTok's gone, what am I going to do? I mean, you knew it was coming, right? Like, it's not news. I guess I have no sympathy in that regard. I'm sorry. We all knew it was coming. We all know that something is going to happen where it's going to shift and everybody's going to be able to access it again. We know that that's coming. This is just a temporary freak out or until it comes back. I mean, I don't think anyone thinks it's not going to come back. But here's the issue, is how people are acting in the meantime. That's what's just killing me. Because if you know your company's going to shut down, right, and your job's going to go away, your income's going to go away, what do? You start putting out your resume. You start going out there to find another source of income. So people that are on these apps, they generally are on all these other apps as well, and they could use those skills to develop. Instead of their sole focus being TikTok, they could go Instagram, they could go Facebook, they could go YouTube, and they can use those same skills because the same people are on these apps. Like it's kind of the same shtick, right? It's just easier. It was easier on TikTok, but they could use those skills and apply it on the apps. That's entirely feasible, right? If your job's going to end, you would go apply for another job. That's how real life works. However, people are losing their minds because they made it on TikTok. And I get that. It's devastating to have the thing that is your income, your full-time, your world, your livelihood is gone. But I said, that's how jobs go. Sometimes the company shuts down. Sometimes you get laid off and you have to do something else. So how people are losing their minds and saying that this is unfair, I don't understand. Put it in the comments. How is this any different? Is it because it's the choice of a government, or if it's the choice of the courts, or it's the, super right wing or super left? Like, what is it that is causing it to be such a problem? When in any other context, in any other situation, this would be something that people would just need to adapt to and roll with, right? One of the other major things I wanted to ask is this mass exodus to the the Red Store, the Red app. I don't know what it's called. It's basically the version of TikTok that is for China, for their country. It is highly regulated. It's highly censored. It's notorious for that. That was the whole point, is that we didn't want that. I'm saying we as in, like, as a general consensus. Everybody fights against censorship, right? So why would you willingly go to an app that is notorious for censorship and then bring all the things that you think that work in the United States and bring them over to an app that is in another country? They have different moral values, they have different priorities, and they have different codes of ethics, codes of conduct, right? They have different rules. You're voluntarily working under another government's rule. You're saying, please take and do as you will with my content. Now, I get that people are like, we don't care about it. They have our data. Everybody steals it and sells it anyway. Why not just volunteer it? Well, honestly, is it right to do that? I mean, there's a couple of takes on this, right? First off, okay, you're throwing your tantrum. You can't stop me. I'll just learn Mandarin and go over to this app. Good. You should learn another language. Languages, but okay. You should do that. Good idea. I get that it's standing your ground and you can't take TikTok away. I'll just go to this other app, which is doing everything that you are on TikTok screaming that you hate, which is censorship and not allowing free speech and, being slightly oppressive. We don't like that, but it's okay as long as you get to thumb your nose, right? Because you're mad that TikTok's okay. You made your point. Here's the other thing. Is it really okay to go flood another culture with our culture's bullshit? I mean, sincerely, do not lie and pretend like TikTok is not chock full of some weird shit. I'm talking lies, propaganda. I mean, flat out fake stories, fake videos, repurposed videos 35,000 times, extreme rhetoric and, made up stories. And then on top of that, there's a lot of behaviors in North America that they're frowned upon in other cultures. Okay, so we're taking all of our over sexuality, we curse all the time. I'm not saying that other people don't. I don't know enough about culture to tell you that. I'm just saying, we're taking the way that we are and we're throwing it at people and saying, we're just going to invade your app that is for your country. And we don't live there, but we're going to invade your app because we're mad that ours got taken away. Does that seem like the right thing to do? I mean, and people are already saying, well, I'm so glad so-and-so is going to get famous. One lady I saw, I'm going to have to find that video. She said, oh my gosh, I'm on the news in China. I'm on the news. She's like, I was introducing her chicken. I can't remember what she said. But what she said in her video about, I don't care if they have my data, they can have it, I don't care. But then she said something outrageous about, and I was like, some of these, how should I put it? More conservative cultures, moralistically, would frown upon that type of content, right? It's just weird that, yay, you're the representative of Americans coming over to a Chinese app. Is you talking like this?
Impossible to underestimate how little I care that the Chinese has my data. I will suck on a tampon and overnight it to the CCP. Okay, I do.
Do I think that the app is going to stay gone? Absolutely not. Do I think that it's going to come back? Of course I do. Do I think that this is a bunch of hoopla over nothing? Of course I do. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Frankly, it's been a day, less than a day, and I am sick of the content all over my feed crying about TikTok. And then I actually had somebody who said that they're scared a little bit for people's mental health when they lose TikTok, especially the kids. If anything else does not resonate with you, if you agree with nothing else in the entire world that I have said or ever say, please hear me. If we're at a point in our society where we need to worry about the mental health of children because an app is no longer available, we have way bigger problems than where we're going to post our TikTok dance videos. That's a core issue that needs to be addressed way before this ever comes back. And it's kind of like when people are like, hey, I don't like it, I'm going to move out of country. I don't need 80,000 posts saying how, I'm going to this other app. I mean, just go. Feel free. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes sense to you. If you think that that is your way forward, then great. I personally suggest taking those skills and owning the market in other platforms Don't put eggs in one basket, as I like to say. I don't like to say it, I just do. But yeah, I'm just curious what you think. I had to address it because honestly, it's been driving me nuts. I see nothing but that, and I'm about to just stay offline for a little while because I'm so sick of that being all anyone's talking about. There's a winter storm. There's fires that just happened. There was a huge earthquake and tsunami around the world. Like, there's all these things that all we care about is TikTok. What am I going to do? Robot. Try that. Just saying, I know. That was petty. I didn't need to say that. Anyway, I want to know what you think. Put it in the comments. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of pushback on some of my opinions, and that's okay. I am here for a respectful discussion. If you have something to say, please let me know. If it's just hate, yeah, you can feel free to post it. It helps my algorithm. I'll just ignore you. That's how that works. I hope you guys have a great week. Stay warm. It's cold out there. I will see you around the tubes of you, and until next time.